this water. We're going to have target practice. And we basically just threw like equipment out there, Zodiacs and shit. And we're sitting there and shooting the hell out of it. We launched every freaking round we had before we came in the park. Before we hit that 7 mile barrier, we were like, boom, and it was a great time. I mean, it was freaking fantastic. It was amazing to unload absolutely everything and see the amount of firepower we could bring to bear on a continuous rate. It was great. But then you realized, wait a minute, that's $14 a bullet that we just fired off, and we literally sent millions of those fucking things out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, man. This shit adds up. Yeah, man, we saw a bunch of fraud, waste, and abuse, man. Like, just, when you started seeing this transition from the military hiring civilian, like, I think we got more civilians working for the DOD than we do actual military personnel now. But seeing the prices on aircraft screws, basic aluminum ass aircraft screws, that I can get a bag of 20 of them at Home Depot for $15, $20. They're selling them for $15, $20 a piece. And then you look at who owns these companies. It's all retired personnel who, retired, started these fucking companies. So their buddies who's now,
because of the defense industry.
Yeah. So they'll go out and they'll retire and create these fucking companies, and then they'll get these contracts, bro, and then they'll just overcharge the government. Haley worked at KBR, same fucking shit, bro. Same fucking shit.
Can I?
Yeah, when my son was in the Air Force, he would go to work, and there would be a buddy next to him, and he'd leave one day, and he'd show up the next day at Cities, and he was doing the exact same job, and he was getting paid at least 2 times more for it, because they were just outsourcing everything.
I put something in the chat. It's a concept that I have been thinking many years now, that the Federal Reserve is not the friend of the American people. And so if you're truly a patriot and you love your fellow brothers and sisters in the old USA, you would essentially need to tampon the IRS or the Federal Reserve, because the IRS is the accounting branch of essentially the dollar creator, the Federal Reserve, your local friendly community bank, aka Chairman Powell. So if we really want to try to reverse engineer the solution creatively and maybe, dynamically and patriotically, where we could tell the world to go fuck themselves, eventually China's going to have to bite the bullet and know that they ain't getting their fucking cash, and everybody else around the world that we owe money to may also not be getting their cash, because in a way, if we want to inflate internally and do currency manipulation, we can. And Congress is already doing it. But the PPP program, as many of you know, was fleeced by about $800 billion. And a lot of Clown House's best actors, a lot of fucking pieces of shit on this app were involved in scams like that. So the point is, you could look at that as a minimum basic income program, PPP, because people scammed the shit out of it. That's what it was. It was their minimum basic income that year. And they're out in fucking Caribbean doing whatever. The point is, we're not going to catch them all. But if we were truly patriotic and we wanted to fuck the Federal Reserve instead of getting fucked by the Federal Reserve, we would have Congress issue a minimum basic income, which is essentially a tax credit. Everybody gets a $12,000 tax credit now through the IRS. How do you feel about that program?
Well, that's what happened in the first year of the Biden administration, and then they reversed it. They bought a vote by offering massive tax credits. So if you were a single mother of 3 or 4, you were getting $12,000 a month, and it lasted for a limited amount of time. Now, if you were fiscally conservative and you understood how to run money, then you were like, you know what? I'm not going to increase my household expenditure. I'm going to see this as an opportunity and invest it. Other people saw that as a shopping spree, and so they spent all that money, and then when it got cut off, and they felt that level of betrayal, they got screwed.
So why not just have the Social Security Administration issue every Social Security number $1,000 check starting now, every month?
Well, where's that money coming from?
Gotta come from somewhere.
Right.
What do you mean, where does the money come from? It comes from Congress and the Federal Reserve. Federal Chairman Powell's got to do what Congress tells him to do.
Yeah, fair enough. But the whole point is that if you add money to the money supply, it devalues the purchasing power of that money. So giving somebody $1,000 is not really going to help them if that $1,000 is now effectively worth $500. And all their other money that they actually work for is now been reduced by half.
You guys see that 53 million that was used, handed out by USAID to what the fuck is that?
New York, yeah, dude. I'm in West North Carolina. Okay, I get it. Believe me, everyone's pissed. Okay, you know what I mean? When John Claude, Von Dam, FEMA is broken, and then it turns out that look, we're rebuilding. Things are starting to help out. The Army Corps of Engineers are actually starting to clear some stuff out. There's a lot of abuse of that system. So there are contractors that came in and were like, yeah, okay, we can do your tree removal, and they gave contracts. And so the local contractors that are actually clearing people's homes aren't getting paid because it was a total grift. So we're all hyper aware of it, and at the end of the day, condemning people's buildings and saying that you couldn't live in your dilapidated shelter, which would have been better than living in a tent. We've had 55 people die over the winter of exposure because they were forced to live in a tent on their own property because they were not allowed to re-enter their home. We're aware of this. It's outrageous.
Anyways, I'm kind of being. I believe Clubhouse is technically a roast. Like you're self-roasting, or you're roasting other people, or it's just low IQ dumb people talking about nothing, wasting time, which is primarily what's happening everywhere. It's a pandemic of stupidity.
Evan, why are you gay?
I ain't gay no more.
I've been healed.
Listen, America. I mean, it is very much of a pyramid. I mean, it is such a pyramid structure. I mean, America is positioned so well amongst a world of 8 billion people, and we only have 350 million people. We've got it all. It's in our perimeter, but thank God we have President Trump because now the perimeter is secure. And, it's like a miracle. I mean, did you see the Kamala drunk videos of her, pontificating drunk? We dodged a bullet like you can't even imagine. That would have been the nail in the coffin in this country. She would have inflated us, and it would have gotten so obscene. You know what her first? Do you know the name of the first act that she was planning on having Congress submit for 1.9 trillion? Do you know what she was going to call it?
You know what? That Trump impersonation is so bad. You should join the cast of SNL.
I agree. SNL sucks.
They say we dodged a bullet.
There you go.
Marshall, you voted for her, right?
You voted for Marshall.
No, Tim Walz, irresistible. He just was lured by Tim Walz.
Yeah, Marshall was definitely on the White Jews for Harris Zoom call. No, thank God.
So when do we take back Panama? That's what I want to know.
We already took it back.
Are we sending the 1st Marine Division?
There's going to be deployments, no doubt.
They need you back.
I'm wondering, are we going to Gaza? I mean, are we actually going to go in there in the streets and, blast those Palestinians out of their positions?
No, it's not happening.
No,
Like, dude, so
Nobody.
What if the person on the stage does not have a Twitter account? Like, that's clearly you. So.
No, I got 500 X accounts. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
you
have
probably do
500
it.
next account.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I've been filming. You guys, you know, I filmed Clown House for many years now, but I have been filming Elon Musk for 8 months now. Play the fool on X every night under Adrian Dittman, and it is 100% Elon Musk, and he knows me in the sense
Did you
that.
have Laura Loomer reply to one of your Adrian Dittman things? It was the weirdest fucking shit.
I didn't see that.
Like, dude, as much as I dislike you, I like you more than I like her.
I like you
that
more than I
woman
like
is
her.
Terrible.
I don't follow
And
it.
I was like, oh my god, Edmund told her this is the best thing ever.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I have so many phones I can't keep up and keep track. But thanks, Marshall. I follow. I think I follow you on a lot of my X accounts.
Hey, have you
And
seen
IG
the
accounts.
reports on Washington Doge, the state of Washington Doge?
Did you see Texas form their own Doge commission?
Yeah, well, it's
I am not surprised the state in Texas, or the state of Texas, has decided to make being penny pinching a thing again. We already have a balanced budget act, so every other year, when the legislature meets, we have to submit a balanced budget. But having our own efficiency committee, great.
Yeah, so the Washington Doge uncovered funding of jack-off clubs, which, Edmund probably knows about.
They just closed.
Like a club where you go and somebody wanks you off.
It's called gooning.
Yes.
The kids call it gooning now.
What? I don't
See,
know.
I
Why do you know about kids talking about masturbation? Whoa, wow, weird.
Ew.
It's just
Whoa.
Elon Musk is always talking about gooning. Every patriot talks about gooning. We have to repopulate.
This is what Edmund does with his 500 YouTube accounts that collectively get 25 views.
You gotta pump those numbers up, bro.
I know, they're rookie numbers. I should be on here 80 hours a week like you guys.
That shit's good.
I mean, listen, all communication is hypnosis, but we have to control the communication, and thus, see, I don't know how, I don't, a lot of you people call yourselves economists. I do believe in infinite inflation in the sense that, like, we do have nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, and when you look at China's little bullshit, we can take on this debt because we can repel any invasion. I mean, you do have to look at this as like a castle game. We've got the greatest castle on the planet, and thank God Donald Trump is the president. Thank God J.D. Vance is the VP, and thank God Kamala Harris didn't win. It was a miracle, truly a gift from God. I mean, she would have destroyed this country. It would have been the most horrific, horrendous, debt-laden, filled destruction of this country. You would have seen every city in this country swarm with foreign invaders. Oh, we dodged such a bullet. Thank God. Rabboni Shalom.
Broadcasting from Tel Aviv, Edmund.
I don't know. Does anybody even know the names of the 15 or 18 soldiers that died during the Afghanistan withdrawal, that explosion? I mean, nobody really cares about any of the people that have died. Nobody knows their names. Nobody even knows the names of the people on the 9/11 flights, or there's no information about any of that stuff. It's all in the now. It's all a compression. And so when you see what Doge is stripping out, and Doge only has like 100 some odd posts. There's no transparency. There's no accounting. No one knows what these federal bureaucrats actually spend money on or where your taxpayer dollars go to. There's no ledger. There's no tracking.
There's actually a whole website. It's government spending. You can look at it.
It's not transparent, James. You know it and I know it.
You can look it up on the internet on a fucking list. I don't know how.
Did you read the 2025 Federal Reserve report to Congress? I know you didn't. I know you've never been to the Federal Reserve website and looked at the reports to Congress. Have you ever actually read anything?
No, when I look at federal spending, I look at what the House of Representatives
Did you read the 2025 Federal Reserve Report to Congress? I know you didn't. Try it sometime. You might learn something.
You actually don't even know how to read, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, James.
Yeah, I can't read. I don't know how to help.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Step one would be getting rid of the Department of Education.
There you go. That's an excellent idea. Bye, everybody. Farewell. 4,000 people. Here's your severance letter. Have a good life, and we'll let you know about your pension sometime soon. I mean,
if we're being practical, you then have to take like the 4 things they do to make them like give them any validity whatsoever.
You do realize that if Doge is real, do you know how much optimization is required to actually bring this system into line, into order, into an organization which is essentially efficient and actually reversing the economic and debt-laden trail we are creating with the Federal Reserve and foreign borrowers and domestic?
It would involve the entire federal government flipping the way that it operates, which you and I both know is not very likely to happen.
No.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard Elon Musk say the secret word. It's called dictatorship.
Is that what he said?
He did. I have him on recording, talking about dictatorship. And that is what essentially could and probably will happen.
Was that the clip?
How is that going to happen?
Was that the clip when he was talking to your mom?
No. Anyways, I'm just saying, war creates chaos and chaos creates dictatorship. So look out.
Hey, what's your user profile on Reddit?
I've got many Reddit accounts. My main account has so much karma, it's unbelievable.
Oh, bad karma.
No, I film and I post a lot to Reddit. I get a lot of views from Reddit.
I bet you do.
Everything I create, including this entire conversation, will be posted to multiple Reddit threads. Even the other Clubhouse accounts that I'm live streaming.
Amazing.
Oh, you should look up Destiny, James. You might want to talk to Destiny.
No, you need to talk to Destiny and your other.
No, James, you need to talk to Destiny. Talk to Destiny, James. You might like Destiny.
Are you wearing day glow or you're fluorescent?
No, you're illuminescent, and you are numistically numinous. You are iridescent.
Do you shower with glitter? Or you're like, no, it's worse than sunscreen?
When you shit, do you spray rainbows?
No, it actually just comes out in a little bag. I just rip it off, like Madonna.
Well, I have internet change on this drive. Drive is almost over, so I think I'm going to shut this room down. But we went pretty far from the original title of the room. That's okay.
What was the title of the room? Just Salt and Pepper House?
No, cash to the ATF.
Cash to the ATF?
This is Salt and Pepper is the house name.
Oh, Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, back in the day of the pandemic, this used to have, I don't know how many thousands of people. We'd come in, I'd do firearm stuff, we would talk about emergency preparedness. People were talking about hydroponic growing. It was pretty vibrant, but of course the light went away when the pandemic went away. Thank God the pandemic went away. Or we stopped buying into the shit. So I'm pretty much the only one left that opens up stuff underneath this house. But I used to do, 2 or 3 times a week, I used to do rooms on firearms issues.
Oh my God! You know what, Yosh? You know what? Great thing about firearms is using them against tyrants and terrorists and people who essentially want to destroy your freedom and liberty. That's the best things that guns are for.
Or the guy that comes up on the street who wants to take your shit or hurt your family.
No, you know what? If you go on the left side thing, the preppers have become the left. That's the conversation that's happening on Reddit.
You mean the preppers are now socialist communists?
Yeah, sure.
Patriots, James?
We're not patriots.
Preppers aren't patriots?
Not anymore.
Anybody who's worried about the way direction the country's going and all that stuff are the people that tend to start thinking, I better get my stuff together so I can take care of me and mine.
Yeah, they're making go bags. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I saw that the tranny person was that they were getting their go bag ready so that they could go somewhere for 7 days and have their dehydrated food and
Space food. Yeah.
yeah. I need a hair dryer even though they might not have electricity.
Yeah.
Yes. Astronaut food. Yes, that was hilarious.
So, James, let me ask you a question. Are you happy that Donald Trump is president, Dr. James?
I don't have a PhD.
So, wait, you aren't happy that Trump is president, are you, Dr. James?
I am happy that Trump is president.
Did you vote for President Trump, Dr. James?
Of course I did.
Oh, so you consider yourself a patriot then?
I do consider myself a patriot. I've been a little bit exhausted from saving the republic.
Single-handedly.
It was a coalition. Well put together.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a good time.
Okay, take care, Yosh. That was fun. I hope you guys all have a great day.
Yeah, good conversation.
Hey, man, can we get back to you answering the question before we end the room, or before you ends the room? Why are you gay?
I ain't gay no more. I like women's.